what are we expected to see here? Because we have seen a lot of crazy stuff already today. When I say crazy stuff, I mean Zeus by Complexity and Gyrocops earlier by Thunderbirds. But what I kind of was still expecting to see is, for example, Complexity Lishrak. For example, an Abaddon. We have only seen Abaddon banned so far these 2 NA days. But what kind of heroes are we thinking of seeing?
Bristleback's being ignored. That's, I think, a bit of a surprise. Treant kind of got ignored the last series. So there's been a few heroes that you'd think are kind of that top creme of the creme of heroes, and they're just not being picked up.
But why?
I don't have the answer to that, Shiva. I don't.
Well,
I wish I did know. Like the teams obviously have some different ideas, and
yeah.
I think with Thunderbirds, the why is because they were experimenting with new picks. With Complexity, I think it's because they felt like they had a different direction they could go. But I think Bristle and Treant and Io are still very, very top tier heroes.
Yeah, I think we'll probably see them. Right? Strong heroes, everybody knows it. Probably first bans Ios, first picks Bristles. We'll see, could be wrong though. The boys from SG, there's some jolly boys. Maybe we'll see some crazy stuff.
Well, yesterday they tried the global strat.
Yeah,
it was them, right? That tried it.
That was
they just brought for Spectre. Didn't end up working out at
that was
all.
A bit of a desperation move.
You know what they were lacking though?
What?
Maybe they wanted to have Nature's Prophet, Spectre, Zeus. More global. It wasn't global enough.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
And
like
the AA.
And AA, yes.
Yeah.
Bring it back.
Pretty great way to lose a game in 15 minutes. That sounds amazing.
That's true.
Let's go, SG.
I don't know. It's tricky because we've seen yesterday 4 games from SG, and in all games they were kind of looking for their style, but they didn't really settle on anything. And then looking back at Kiev Major, they were doing so well. It feels like something happened in between where they completely lost, you know, what they're good at or something.
Maybe it's that, but maybe it's that teams took a chance to look at them before, right? I mean, remember how underestimated they were by community and players alike coming from South America. I feel like they had time, teams had time to look at their drafts, look at their style, and be like, okay, well, it seems like they're always trying to fight. If we can just sneak one lone druid off to go farm, then we're going to win. So after that was figured out, then we saw that desperation play coming out with the global strat. Maybe SG has figured out that people have figured them out, maybe not.
Well, we're going to figure out what they have figured out in the meantime, because it's time for us to figure out what the draft's going to be. Let's go to the war room.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so we did have Darkseer grabbed for Complexity. Did we see the Jakiro banned out? No, not yet.
Not
so
yet.
Complexity will probably grab that one. I've got Darkseer here. Got a whole assortment of goodies.
What are you holding? You're holding so many.
I'm holding 4.
Okay, which 4?
One of them got banned already, so. Okay, so I had Sanking held as well.
I go Sanking?
With Crystal Maiden. And then we have Jakiro probably getting picked up from Complexity with the Darkseer, I'm assuming.
Fogged, if you get
Say.
this right. This is a quad prediction, buddy.
What? Dude, they picked it like every game.
Oh, Fogged, what if this happens?
Okay, so I'm putting it down now. Okay, that's good.
Sorry,
Change up a little bit.
That's very anticlimactic, you guys.
You didn't break the record of predictions ever.
Oh my
A
goodness.
single analyst.
GG.
Right.
No re.
The tuple is.
I like this though. Different approach completely to the last series that we saw coming up from Complexity.
Spirit?
Yep. With Darkseer, so they had kind of like an enrage for the Ember. Good Ion Shell carrier. Both heroes very good versus, well, Ember Spirit pretty good versus Sanking. Of course, Sanking is a disable, but the Root versus Sanking is a really good mechanic.
Yeah, sure.
The Clinks band.
Clinks
They got some nightmares from
Clinks
Complexity just now. From Thunderbirds.
My God. EG's or SG's.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah. What?
Well, Clinks versus Darkseer, right? That's one of the... It was like the old school kind of way to deal with Darkseer, having that ranged hero, not to suffer versus Iron Shells at all.
Because we really saw that working out against for Complexity. Oh, actually, it did. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, you're right.
It did work out.
It did work out. You're right. I totally, scratch that. Take that off.
There forever.
Oh.
Alright, Lifestealer gonna get banned out there. Interesting. I mean, Lifestealer is pretty.
10 seconds.
You already have your livery vehicle. Sure, get rid of that nonsense.
5 seconds remaining.
Interesting. See, you know, we do see the Omni Knight come out sometimes against the CM and Sand King combo to kind of mitigate that magical damage. might be seeded in.
We usually see it ran in off lane though, right?
Yeah.
And it's like Darkseer's already picked up. So. I do love me some Omni Knight though, Slide.
Oh yeah. The silencer.
Silencer
Oh,
ban as
that's telling, guys. I think we're gonna see some big team fight heroes then. Maybe a Magnus then, maybe a Disruptor. They want to get that combo in with Darkseer.
Oh, we could see the Swindles Magnus again, yeah.
What happened to Phoenix?
Oh, I guess for Darkseer's unlikely.
Is Phoenix just an EG hero, nothing else?
Oh, other teams play it, but I mean, it's not a bad hero for sure. There's could certainly slide it in.
It's good with like a sieging core, and especially like these like strength cores that build Halberd. Like Halberd with it is extremely good.
Hey,
so SG takes the Omni Knight for themselves though. So
okay, I'm liking that.
You did say Omni Knight. So.
Sure. Well, yep. There's your aggression, and then followed up with 2 great stunners and magical damage. A good way to keep them on their toes. However, if complexity is going the way that I think so, where they're going to pick a bunch of team fight now that they got rid of the silencer. Exciting.
5 seconds remaining.
Probably, I'm going to guess that they're going to pick that Magnus again, even though it didn't work out last time.
But they got the Darkseer.
Hey!
Phoenix.
Team fight.
It's a good hero.
Shiver casually drinks her water. Yeah, I know. I already knew this was coming.
How does the synergy between Phoenix and Darkseer work?
Because you can get vacuumed away from the egg, but still in egg range. If you're attacking it, but still in egg range.
Or you vacuum them in to stun them.
Or you vacuum them in if they're trying to run away. Works both ways.
Vacuum into Fire Spirit. You hit everyone with 1 Fire Spirit.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, just like, yeah, it's just heavy team fight.
Damn, what's this old combo? You guys remember the OD Omni days?
OD Omni's
yeah,
pretty
those
nasty.
days were
pretty dark.
very dark.
Oh, hell yeah, there we go.
Void Phoenix combo, and yes, Safe Flame Void at that as well.
Void, I think only running Safe Blade Void works if you have a Darkseer. Because you're able to get that like empowering from the Ion Shell.
Okay.
I mean, not only, but it's one of the best ways to kind of enable it to not super weak, because your damage inside of Chronosphere alone as a Void is pretty minimal.
I'm kind of liking what Complexity is drafting here.
I don't know, Void is just... I feel like even with that around it, hard hero.
They got the damage also from the Ember, though.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's a Faceless Void. This is a hero that just loses games.
Is that an Enchantress ban?
Enchantress ban.
Okay.
Worried about the lane stage a bit, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
Looking at what Zfrick might be playing with the 5-position Phoenix.
No, I mean, like the Earth Spirit's the one that stands out, but not the greatest with the Chrono. You can't really do anything, but you do have the Silence versus OD and versus Omni Knight can be pretty good. It works well with the Darkseer too. I'm thinking they want something that can pair and go to the off lane, because that's the old combo I like seeing Complexity on, you know. Swindle Melons and Zfreak, the brother duo with the Ion Shell pairing. Maybe like a Slardar, something like that. Slardar, Earth Spirit, something along those lines. Or something that can commit with the Void.
Yeah, something that's going to help this Void.
Both teams have very little, like straight up kind of physical objective taking damage right now.
Yeah, well, that can be fixed with the last pick.
It can be fixed with the last.
But which pick would that be? I mean, Complexity is taking a long time to think about what to ban. What could they be debating?
Looking at obviously what HFN strong on. What was he playing yesterday?
He's strong on a lot of heroes. He's a really
played Ursa yesterday.
He played Lycan yesterday as well, didn't he? Have Lycan game?
That was they played. No, that was Freedom who played the Lycan.
Yeah, they played against the Lycan.
Played against the Lycan.
They lost against the Lycan.
He got ran over pretty hard.
Wait, is Troll still there? Troll is still there.
Yes.
They could take Troll on SG.
Troll
Troll OD on these very nice. Yeah, they banned the.
They actually banned the Lycan.
Yeah. Oh yeah, did HFN not play Lycan yesterday? Am I imagining it?
I can look it up. I have written everything down.
I think we only saw one, right? I think it was only Freedom who ran the one Lycan.
Okay.
I want to say.
Yeah, I'm probably getting mixed up.
They don't really have anything to hit buildings with yet, which is like Lycan type pick would be kind of nice.
I already getting the Troll for SG would be a way to end this.
Did they just get like a Tusk here? The Tusk Phoenix duo?
Well, the Tusk can do in the Corona though, really.
Yeah. Just trying to think. I think it's gonna be one of those melee pairs with the Darkseer.
Yeah.
I mean, Disruptor would have been probably like a CIS thing that they would pick to help out a lot. They have the combo with the Darkseer, but that's not really an NA kind of thing to do. Although the Silence is very good versus the side of SG.
Witch Dogs are still there.
So they go for the Spirit
Breaker they go for one as you
one of the pairs with the Ion Shell. There's a lot of different. I think they had a couple of different options, but this one at least lets them pressure a bit more in the laning phase.
I don't know if I like that. Oh, hell yeah.
This hero.
Juicy.
Necro faucet.
This hero got buffed. 50% restoration got buffed up to 70%. So
I do like that against the Void. I've got to say, I'm feeling that SG's draft could be pretty scary this game.
lots of sustain. OD Necro, infinite mana Necro.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Sounds cool.
I love
Alright.
Necro against Phoenix, too. That hero's always having to give up his own health all the time anyway. It's very easy to capitalize on that with such a small health pool. So I'm into it. I like it a lot. Nice Necro pick.
It's kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the lane against Darkseer, you're getting harassed a lot. You heal up because you have your regen you get from your passives. So
What do you think? Who do you think is going to take this? It's a tricky one to call, I think.
I'm gonna stick with coL though. I think they got the team fight. You know, this Void Phoenix, the Darkseer with the Iron Shell putting on those heroes is a very good Ember game as well. So I'm gonna go complexity.
It's one of the top 10 Necro Brown Boots Dagon players in the world. I got to go with the Necro on this tight build, tight hero. Go for it, buddy.
So yesterday when SG wasn't winning their games, it was mostly down to strategy, rather like playing the lineup that they had. Complexity has got decent lineups, but they haven't been able to play well enough to execute it properly. I'm thinking this time SG's got a proper lineup, and I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to get their first win of DreamLeague here, but we're going to find out. It is over to OD Pixel and Fogged for Game 1 of the series.
So yeah, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the casting panel. I'm OD Pixel, I'm here with Fogged, and yeah, we're getting ready. This is going to be the second series of today, Complexity versus SG. And Complexity, they had a bit of a tough opening to the day, already of course dropping 2 games to Thunderbirds. This series, of course, has been mentioned, they're playing for the money here, $1,000 per win. So we'll see how they do. And indeed, Moo on the safe lane Void. Is it a good Void game, Fogged? Is this Void going to have a good time, or is he going to be a bit of an unhappy bunny?
depends on how he gets like involved. I think he should have a pretty decent game though, getting enabled a lot. I think they have a lot of ways to make space for him too. This should be, I mean, this should be a really fun game, to be honest though. I haven't seen Necro play it actually at all on the new patch with the increased amplification on his Ghost Shroud. So it should be, I mean, it could be pretty cool, especially with like the restoration amplification with Omni Knight too. If you get healed up with your Ghost Shroud, it does like 500 plus healing or 600 about healing onto the Necro. Or sorry, actually, that's completely wrong. Apologies. Never mind. Ignore that. That only the Necro's heals actually get amplified.
Sure, but I mean, even now,
but still,
it's still
there's
a lot. It's still a lot.
There's a lot of different ways that you can like the duo kind of or the trio can kind of work. The Omni, OD, and Necro, they can really bully towers and have a lot of different amounts of sustain coming up from the three of them. So it's cool. It's gonna be definitely interesting playing versus like Void and Ember, having that Necro ultimate versus these two.
Yeah, Void, definitely a liability to getting blown up by that.
Why did I say that?
Ultimate. I just get it, mate.
That's not late.
But you still, I mean,
That's
even
cool,
without it, you know, the non-amplification of the other heals, it's still,
it's
it
still
all adds
strong.
up to be a lot in terms of keeping that Necro alive.
Yeah.
If he's front-lining it against, well, there is a fair bit of magic damage, but there's not really any sort of wham-bam burst other than a quick remnant jump in on top of you from the Ember Spirit. So
Yeah.
definitely chances to keep himself healed up.
The good thing is also sometimes the problem with Necro is that you don't have a defensive kind of thing. This time they not only do have the Omni Knight backing it up, they also have the OD. So if he does get caught inside the Chronosphere, they have to watch the way that they place it, because if he gets chronoed, he can just get Astral down and then the fight can get turned around pretty nicely. So we'll see how they execute it. It's really dependent a lot on how these Chronospheres are placed in the team fights.
It looks like we may have to remake the game here, as King RD is DC'd and unable to reconnect by look. Be able to get ourselves a new lobby up and get a jump to. I'm imagining that's going to be the case. We'll see. Moo.
Thank you.
Thank
Keep me
you.
updated, please.
Keep me updated, please, says Moo.
Still disconnected. Oh,
Come on, King RD, get himself. Oh, he's back! He's back. He managed to reconnect. He managed to get back in.
He's back.
He's back. Applause is there from Z-Freak. Moo asks, very diplomatically, is he ready? We'll be able to get a response for this very shortly. I believe HFN is the spokesman at the moment. And no response as of yet from SG Esports. Just some spamming of the noises. Waiting for the words here. Moo has asked the question, Yet to receive an answer from SG. Waiting for this communication to come through. Build up, HFN has got the quad Midas. It's an unbeatable strat, and there we have no direct answer to Moo. Just the straightforward G is cool. So we're back in. But Moo may not be too happy with the end of that conversation.
Z-Freak just misclicked and ate his fairy fire by accident.
Oh, Z-Freak.
It looked like, I think he was trying to actually place another ward down, and he ate his fairy fire. Oops.
Oh.
70 gold down the drain.
Swindles celebrating about the matchmaking change here in this game.
Yeah, for those who didn't see the recent just implemented patch changes, apparently in the start of all pick now, there are 25 heroes that are banned out randomly at the start of the game before the banning phase.
Are you liking that change?
It's a
I don't know, give some variety at least in the games.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised as well if this is something that we've obviously seen in the past. Valve like to test things out, don't they?
Yeah.
Just to get results for whatever kind of scientific calculations they do behind the scenes. So it may not be here to stay, but
maybe it's like we want to see new heroes in competitive games, so we're going to get rid of 25 random ones, so you have to play other ones.
Yeah. They say it's random, but at Valve HQ, they've got some boys, you know, working on that. Boys and girls working on looking at it and saying, we're going to ban these heroes out from your games and try and enforce a new meta. We'll see. We'll see how it changes. Your pub games, do let the world know how it's going. And of course, here we are though. Swindles is happy for the time being. We'll see if he's happy after the end of this game. $1,000 on the line for each of these matches. And
all eyes on
SG are ready to go.
On King RD and Z-Freak in this game for me, at least. King RD's been the absolute playmaker for SG, while Z-Freak always tends to be kind of like the big playmaker for Complexity. So we'll see how much they're able to actually do on these two heroes right away. King RD starting mid lane, bullying Firo a bit. Already an OD favored matchup, but with this coming out, it makes it even harder for the Ember squad.
Poor old Firo, he just can't get himself a nice and easy mid lane today. He's had a lot of bullying come his way over the past couple of matches, and it looks like it's not going to end here in this series against SG.
Z-Freak right away, running down C4T. Dunning them off of the creep wave with that Ion Shell being used on him initially.
Yeah, I mean, these side lanes as well, do you feel there's going to be a team that does come out on top? Is one of the off lanes nastier than the other, would you say?
I mean, the Spirit Breaker, Darkseer for sure, yeah.
Yeah, that's the danger lane.
Crystal Maiden doesn't really add too much to help. Of course, Necrophos having that increased sustain from Death Pulse when you last hit creeps, and also not being a melee hero, being able to last hit without it being pressured from it, is going to be decent, but yeah, they still are going to be able to pressure. And this Crystal Maiden, if he shows and doesn't have Frostbite up and isn't able to like stop the charge, he can get ran down very easily.
Top lane. Bo coming out with the aggression, forcing Mood to back up. Firo already having to pop his first salve here in the middle lane. CS-wise though, he's on par with the OD. OD has got a fresh wave though coming in for the free farm under the safety of his own tower. Up top, King RD by the rotation. Eyes on to Jimmy and Moo, enabling Tava to play very aggressive there with his positioning, going right past the tower.
Once King RD gets his level 2, it puts a lot more pressure onto this safe lane, because Caustic is extremely potent versus both Phoenix and any melee hero. Giving the rundown to Demon. He's got his level 2 now as well, so he can actually put more pressure onto that laning phase.
Yeah, being able to steal that bounty run away from Demon. Did it for him. Ooh, eyeing up Tavo. Knows he can't really go in for the finishing blow with Purification at the ready on the Omni Knight. Not wanting to time walk himself into an old position because of the presence of King D. Top. Time being. Did head back over towards the mid. CS-wise moves, still leading the way, 13 for 3. He's finding the farm, but as expected, Tavo also getting a fair few creeps out of this lane.
Yeah. I think King RD should just sit up here. He actually commits to jump forward. King RD's trying to put some pressure to stun on him. They're going to do some damage here, but
Tavo actually pops the south there to try and enable him to chase this down, but they do not have enough damage to punch through Moo.
Demon, though, he did jump in. It looks like he was going to get brought down by the sun.
Yeah, Gale coming again with another burrow strike, and there we have it. King RD, you said he's the man to watch, and already proven to do so. Secures first blood. In fact, with that purification, Moo, he has to get out of there. Time walks back. King RD is going to continue to play around with him. Moo will turn, try and chase down for the kill.
He's got mana soon.
Oh, and there we have
heal.
it. Beautifully done there by the two of the SG side. Tavo and King RD outplaying Complexity in that lane. Meanwhile, in the middle, Adriano, he's giving Firo the rundown. The charge will come through just in time.
Oh, the bash.
And in fact, with the Iron Shells as well, now it's Adriano in the awkward position. The creeps are holding Z-Freak back here.
Another charge in 3 seconds.
And he should have a good attempt at finishing this off. He is going to
The
go
ion
for it.
shell wore off,
Ooh.
but he also canceled this charge.
Realizes it straight away that Z-Freak knows that he can't afford to go back in for that one. And Adrian just knows that he can play aggressive with a failed charge. No more iron shells to worry about. He can go back in. Firo hanging around on the lowest of health. To be a little careful. Does now have the Sal coming out.
HFN now doing just fine. As soon as the Spirit Breaker leaves bottoms, they stop that pressure onto him. He can free farm very nicely versus Darkseid with that increased regen that he gets from Death Pulse and from, of course, the kill regen that you get from killing any creeps.
We're gonna see Z-Freak head back down to that bottom lane now. As, yeah, HFN are having a good time. They do want to try and slow him down a little bit.
What's King RD doing? He's just sitting around the mid lane now, trying to put more pressure onto Firo.
It's going to work. I mean, Firo's going to allow himself to be tickled a little bit here by the SK. Forcing him back. He is out of regen, Firo. So he's not going to be too happy with the presence of this SK in the mid lane. Level 5. He hits that 6, he'll be a little more confident with his... But for the time being, he is going to have to back up. Top lane, Jimmy, again, alongside Mood. Keep eyes on Tavo, but as we've seen before, this is a very hard lane for Complexity to play around.
Yeah.
As we saw before, Tavo +1 plus King RD. Suddenly it's Mu that has to be very careful with his positioning and really can't afford to play aggressive because these two will outplay him. And Mu taunting himself back to the tier 1 there. Very nicely done.
Yeah, Phoenix doesn't really give too much in this type of lane. Because if he gets stunned up, he can get brought down quite easily. But here we go, more pressure coming onto the Mu. He should be able to time most of that damage away.
But even just using that pressure to keep him away from the side pull that they make. Think twice before coming in for a bit of action. And this will secure a nice bit of XP and gold for them. King RD up again just to force back anyone's presence. You know, Jimmy has to dive away as he knows a quick burrow strike and a purification can put him in a pretty dangerous position. They go again with the iron shells in the charge. They'll bring him down. Z-Freak making some strong movements. The presence of Swindle Melon's iron shells and movements that they really do need to make Complexity at this stage. They're having trouble on the top lane. They need to make things happen elsewhere.
Yeah, all 3 lanes are actually a bit problematic. I mean, Mu's still farming is the good thing, but the problem is that Tavo is also completely free farming up there, and Mu's still getting pressure a good amount. Swindle bottom lane. HFN trying to go for a dive here, but he loses about 50 HP. Thank you to that raindrop. So the 3rd pick of Necro in 7.06.
Talking about the Necro, I think he may be quite dirty. There's a charge coming in. Firo setting up here from the Invis rune, and there is no escape for HFN as the bash comes through for Z-Freak again. Darkseer Spirit Breaker combo proven to be pretty strong, especially when backed up by a Wandering Ember Spirit.
Yeah, Z-Freak's almost level 6 already. It's actually the same level as Swindle.
Yeah. He's been having some good movements. Both of the, as you said, the ones to watch, Z-Freak and King RD have certainly been making the plays early on. But yeah, experience-wise, certainly favouring that of the Spirit Breaker. See what he can get from this side pull being made once again by SG. Bottom lane, CM's been caught out. Again, in with the charge. Very, very tried and tested combination, and it continues to work out. Spirit Breaker with the Iron Shell. At this stage of the game, if you're SG, you have to be so careful about just showing on your own, as Z-Freak will be straight there.
I liked Firo's movements too. Like mid lane, he's already getting pressured pretty heavily. His CS was suffering, so why not just make moves to the enemy safe lane? And HFN takes a page out of that book and moves toward top to pressure Moose lane even more. They want to be able to siege this tower as quick as possible. They do have the charge coming out to onto King RD here. There's a rotation coming in as well from Phoenix.
Yeah, mass TPs as well.
Mass TPs. Trying to secure Moo's lane. Moo is also level 6 too. He's got the Chronosphere online.
See what his plan is. Looking for an opening. There's the charge onto King RD. Burrow strikes away. They need to get that catch on him. And he's going to be jumped forward upon by the remnants from Firo. That will be enough to take down the SK. But SG get the rest out of there. That was a 4-hero rotation, so you're leaving your mid lane open for the OD to continue to farm. Bottom lane, though, Swindles does stay down there, so at least he's able to make something out of the space that's being forced up on top.
Their damage in the Chronosphere early on is not good at all. Like, he has to be Ion Shelled, and there has to be like a Phoenix Sunray or the Phoenix in the area to at least contribute damage to that one. Because if he just Chronos, there's really like nothing that they can get a kill out of that with. They're looking for Mu. They know he's jumped into the trees there. King RD scouting for him.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So much pressure for Mu with the way that SG have moved themselves up to this top lane. As
Now,
he is just having to time walk deeper and deeper. They've got eyes on him again.
Melons and Firo, though, making the rotation. There's an Arcane Rune Ember Spirit.
And that comes in with the chains onto the Necro. HFN, can he get himself out? Will be chased down. The heal, buying him some time, but Mu jumps forward with the time walk. Will take down the Necrophos. Look at the bash through onto the CM. There's the Chrono to follow through with the Flame Guard, double Iron Shells. There's more than enough damage. They set it up perfectly, Complexity, and they shut down SG's attempt to get something done on that top lane and send them back to base.
HFN got caught going too far past the tower, but yeah, nice rotations coming out from Complexity reading that. Adriano just sits mid, he wants to farm up that Midas.
There we have again. We can see what you got. The Iron Shell on the Ember Spirit, Iron Shell on the Spirit Breaker, Flame Guard. That's the damage. You know, it is there, and it is exactly what they need, because as you mentioned, without it, there's not a lot. And, well, King RD kills himself.
He was trying to clear a troll camp, and I guess he
Oh, did he have
died.
internet issues? Oh, no, wait, it's Adriano that's gone.
I think he just underestimated damage. He had wand charges, too.
He did. I mean, I'd say he wanted to quit. He didn't have any money really on him.
Yeah.
So maybe just wanted the free trip back to base, but still that extra respawn time is not nuts.
He died, and then his caustic killed the camp. So I think he just like miscalculated the amount of damage. And
it was close.
It's a slight mistake. He can have some of those. King RD. But take a look at that though. That was very good comeback for Complexity though. That kind of rotation coming up from Firo.
Oh, there we go. Look at the replay here.
Yeah, let's see.
I mean, it was. I mean, I think he knew he was going to die. There definitely at least a second where he realized, oh boy, I messed up.
Oops. Slight mistake.
Yeah. But it's whatever. As I say, he wasn't stockpiling a lot of gold. He's only out for 20. He's fine with that. Top Mu to play around with Tavo.
SG is going for the full farming type of orientated build. They've got the Midas coming out on Omni Knight swing bottom lane. HFN, again, getting caught up by the rotations from Firo. Firo is just on point with his rotations.
Yeah, really nice. As we're seeing that he needs to as well, but at the same time when he does, the rotations are pretty easy for him to pull off against this Necro.
Yeah.
There's no way that you can do anything. Of course, with the build as well, still to yet put points in the Ghost Shroud, but of course with the damage that Complexity have, Ghost Shroud it's not going to save you anyway in these situations. Yeah. It's understandable why HFN's gone for the skill build that he has.
He's just getting caught too far up. Every single time I've seen him die, he's actually like at a tower or past a tower. The only time he can really be at a tower or past a tower is if he's around his Omni Knight. And Tavo also went for a very greedy build on the Omni Knight. He didn't get a single point in the repel. He's 4-0-3. So 3 points in degen aura.
That's pretty interesting considering how big repel will be in these games.
Yeah.
You know, if someone gets caught in a chrono, if you're able to throw in a repel from the sidelines, they're not going to die in that chrono at this stage of the game because there is very little physical on the lineup of Complexity. And it's especially physical that they can throw in from the sidelines of a chronosphere. Only the Phoenix that can, throw some fireballs in with the right clicks.
It is definitely a bit surprising. Z-Freak moving top, Invis Rune, able to break the smoke from SG, get eyes on them as well. The Iron Shell's not going to come out.
Oh, the Invis Iron Shell. Here we go.
King RD.
Slowly killing King RD.
He didn't realize it at first.
He didn't. I think he realized a little too late. He was like, hang on, my life is disappearing before my eyes. Jump forward from Mu. He's going to be able to find the two-man Chronosphere. They need to get the damage in somehow. Triple Remnant forward. That'll certainly do it. Bringing HFN down low. Not quite low enough. Repel's there this time from the Omni. He's now put a point into it. They'll back off, get themselves away from the egg. And at the end of the day, it's a pretty successful disengage from SG after the Chrono. As we saw that if the setup isn't perfect for Complexity, it's hard for them to get the damage out during it.
All right, Adriano switched his build up. He went for, didn't go for the Midas first build. He just rushed the Force Staff. He saw that they're kind of, I think this is the right approach. He saw that they're kind of getting like ran at a lot by this Ember Spirit, and he's not able to get involved if he goes Midas. So if he goes Force Staff, he can actually help his teammates out. Am
I being really dumb? Or is this a bit of a difference there with the Ember Spirit? Taking the damage over the Spell Amp, or is that what you do nowadays?
Oh, he's changing it up.
I was going to say, that's not me, but that you do still take the Spell Amp, right? If normally for the Magic build.
Yeah, I mean, it just recently got changed, so we haven't seen like a crazy amount of games on this patch, but yeah, I've still been seeing people always grabbing up the 8 spell amplification.
Plus 30 damage.
I used to see Miracle be one of the players that actually took the damage on the Ember Spirit for a while, but he even changed it up to go for the spell amp. Top lane, another charge coming out to Adriano. He used Astral aggressively.
And it will surround him. He does have the backup of the Omni Knight. Is it going to be enough to help save him? The triple round and burst coming in. Repel comes out. Is it going to save him for the right clicks of Z-Freak? They'll take a mana down. They've got the chains connection onto the Omni. They'll pick up a second. Complexity taking the 2 of SG down.
Complexity playing much better as a team overall. Their movements are like 3 people committing over and over again while SG's getting caught.
Oh, down bottom. They want to go in here with the epicenter. Swindles tried to drag him away with the vacuum and surge out, but he's not going to make it. He's gone. Z-Freak tried to come in to save him. He's going to be chased down by HFN, who now has the ultimate ready to go. Is he going to use it? No, he doesn't. He wants to hold on to it. Doesn't feel like it's worth throwing it down on the Spirit Breaker. Didn't need it anyway, as they'll get themselves the kill. So yeah, Z-Freak trying to do his best to save Swindles there, but not a lot that he could do, and it cost him his life at the end of the day. But so yeah, with the plus 30 damage, do you imagine, are we going to see a difference in the Ember's build? Could it be that he goes for the old school Battle Fury build because they have this Chronosphere and because it is the physical damage they lack to throw into it? Could they be trying something that different, Bob?
I mean, maybe. I've yet to see it.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't seen it in a long time. I'd like to see it. He's got a blink and a boots travel queued up
so
for his next 2 items.
Really,
so
yeah, shown,
nothing telling yet.
Yeah, nothing telling as of the time.
That'd be cool though. I'd like to see some change-ups.
What have we got going on Moo? Because I saw you had the Perseverance. Is it going to be the Lincolns or is it going to be Battle Fury for himself?
I'd like Lincolns this game a lot.
Yeah, I guess definitely against the Necron Search.
Versus Necro versus Sand King versus CM. Just very good spells that he can block. But maybe he goes for the Battle Fury too. Maybe he wants to have that type of greed. We saw No-Tail building the Battle Fury on the Void all the games that they played. So
they did lose that game.
They did. But he queues up Lincolns.
And as much as I was sitting at home and going, No-Tail, win a game with Battle Fury Void, it didn't happen.
They have won games on it before though.
They have.
Yeah.
They have, that's true.
SG now. Going for a oriented smoke to try to pressure the tower. Walking into all of Complexity's heroes.
Adriano straight up into it there. He jumps into the midst of it all. They try and go for a freezing field, but Moo comes out with the chrono. The vacuum's there onto 2. Sanity Eclipse from Adriano comes out. They've got the GA and the repel, keeping the OD alive. And SG Esports ready to get aggressive. There'll be a charge forward from Z-Freak. Triple round and burst, bringing the OD down low. But the burst strike from 2 comes out from King RD. Jumps forward with the Epi. Cleans up a 3rd, and they may not be done yet. They're looking for Swindles. The Swindles will get himself away for the time being. But, I mean, SG starting a fight in true SG fashion. I mean, they're just forcing up in the high ground. OD just putting himself on the front lines, and it pays off. He trusts in the OD and the Necrophos to keep him alive. And it really does work out there for SG. Very nicely done.
King RD stunning the Phoenix instantly and then him getting bursted down by the Necro ulti, the Reaper Scythe. They don't have Phoenix for that extra team fight. And then Tabo's positioning on the Omni Knight there was perfect. He gets the GA, the repel onto the OD, and then the GA as well. And then the extra sustain coming out from both of them was able to tip him off, and just not enough damage coming out of Complexity to go through all that just yet. Very nice play though, coming in there.
Yeah, again, 60 minutes in, it's looking pretty hot for SG at the moment with the size that this OD is amassing to and the draft that they have to enable him to really feel the power at this stage of the game. Blink Dagger now done for King RD, so...
He's got it early.
Yeah, they're ready to rock and roll. SG's lineup, if they 5-man, it's definitely at a strong point in comparison to that of Complexities at this stage of the game.
That is what we did touch on that like slightly in the panel. You know, the OD Essence Aura is very good with Necrophos and with Omni Knight, having infinite sustain coming out from both of them. Now King RD. Do you have the Blink Dagger delivered? No, he doesn't have it just yet. It's at base. And the split push is coming up from Moo and from...
Fear has to be so careful. A Blink Burrow Strike and an ultimate from the Necro could end him. And I think that might just happen here, straight in, and there we have it. He's down for 55 seconds. Not expecting the Blink to be there on King RD and didn't expect that sort of jump. And now you're down an Ember. Oh, wait, he didn't even need it.
Yeah,
oh, there we go. He fooled even me.
Yeah. Complexity was just trying to stall there as best as possible. The only way that they can really take fights at this moment in time is when they have Chronosphere up. And Chronosphere was down. They were just trying to defend the tower with whatever they could throw at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, SG is...
Swindles, he's dead.
SG
he is dead.
Really leading the charge right now. Complexity.
Hashtag Swindles, Bible Thump, press F. Poor lad. Down and out.
Poor lad.
It's looking really good for SG, you gotta say. The move. He's gotta get himself away from that. Not a lot he can do on his own about this Necrophos.
Yeah, I mean, this OD is the big problem. They really have nothing to really kill him. Whenever like Omni Knight's sitting behind him, they don't have the potential to bring him down. HFN and C4T look to be in a little bit of a precarious positioning, maybe right now.
We'll see what they can do here. Let's see, Jimmy comes through with the Supernova, charge straight onto the CM, looking for the easier target, they'll get it. Take down C4T. HFN already on the retreat. King RD, he's revving up the epicenter. He's ready to jump in with the blink, but can't find the vision on Firo. Jukes him around the tree line, so King RD not wanting to commit with the Burrow Strike.
They don't have their Omni Knight, and his TP's on cooldown.
Dangerous.
They didn't want to overcommit too hard there.
That war jet, indeed. Complexity having all the info they need on the status of this area of the map. Up to the top lane. Nearly has the money for that ultimate orb. Once he gets that Lincolns, he's going to feel a lot more confident around the map. As still getting blown up by the Necrophos by HFN is definitely the big issue at this stage.
They still have to watch themselves though. Like Complexity really needs to play as a full unit, while SG can go for these kind of pickoffs here with the Sanking over and over again.
There we have it as well, SG. 19 minutes in, we've got the Blink Dagger complete on Omni as well. So, again, making it that harder for Complexity to find the kills, because he can be much more relaxed with his positioning and look to just come in with the last-minute saves. And it's going to be very hard for Complexity to stop that sort of play. They have got, obviously, Z-Freak on the Spirit Breaker. If they've got the vision, they can look to try and lock him down, but if you're making a beeline for the Omni, there's going to be the Necrophos. I mean, even the OD, you know, at the moment, the guy at the top of the net worth, he can save each other as well. He's got that Astral and make it very hard for Complexity to get kills in the Chrono, unless Moo, you know, catches at least 3-4 of these heroes.
Yeah, I love the Blink pickup on the Omni. I think it's absolutely perfect versus Void. Mid lane, C4T, gonna play with his life, but now the rotation's coming in from SG.
Adriano will get the catch onto the Spirit Breaker. HFN coming in. Is he going to pop the ult for this one? He will. No messing around. They'll take the Spirit Breaker off the map for 50 seconds. King RD, is he going to want to chase this? He's got the blink available. We'll be firing up into the Shrine. A little bit risky here for SG. They've got the Chronosphere. Complexity Moo, he's ironing up. He's going to try and make a go for it, but he only gets the OD. HFN's going to be outside of, Tavo there as well. You're not killing this OD with that Chronosphere. Now Moo just has to get out. They'll pop the Supernova, but they can turn towards this. The GA's out. SG feeling pretty healthy at the moment. The Vacuum Wall's been dropped, but it's Complexity that are having to make the retreat. The Sanity Eclipse comes out. SG moving for more. Take down Moo. Time Walk is not enough to save him, and Firo's in trouble as well. Throws a Remnant down to low ground, but he's not going to be able to disjoint that right click as it flies through from Adriano. Triple kill for the OD. And I've got to say, unfortunately for Complexity, this could be a third loss today, as SG Esports are playing this absolutely fantastically. And again, it's just the draft, I feel, as well. SG, they had a plan this game, and they have executed it absolutely to the T. 20 minutes in, hitting all the timings that they need to, grouping up, playing as a team, and Complexity, I mean, Faceless Void, man, it's a Faceless Void for them.
Yeah. There's no real like specific thing that the Void actually like counters either. Like usually it's like time dilation is pretty good versus something on the enemy team, but in this game, time dilation is not very good versus anything that they kind of have. Adriano now.
Yummy. Oh, he's dead?
He's dead.
Oh, he's dead. He is dead.
48 stolen intelligence there now. I mean, they're already claiming a Rax. It's 20 minutes in. Like the Complexity lineup depends so much on their ultimates. They just used their ultimates the last fight, and they lost it in very hard fashion.
I mean, we saw yesterday, you know, SG, they had some great beginnings of games, and then ended up making a few mistakes and losing them at the end of the day. I don't see them making a mistake big enough to lose this one. They're so far ahead. They've got such a great draft and lineup for this stage of the game. And you know, Complexity, it's all falling apart for them. Off the back of that death early in the mid lane, you know, Void Moo goes straight for picking up the recipe, was unable to pick up the ultimate orb at the time. Now he's got the gold for it. He's got to get himself out to that shot, but again, bottom lane, you know, look who's there. SG Esports already up on the high ground and looking to take a second lane of action.
Yeah, they just perched this Necro and the OD up in the front lines. Yeah. They know actually now the ultimates on Complexity are back online, so they need to watch it a little bit. But Tavo, with that Blink Dagger, he can just sit really far back. Same thing with King RD. If you look at their position, the three kind of like
who's initiating
supporters. There's no way to really catch.
No one wants to jump in here on Complexity. They know that if they go forward, they're pretty much well as dead. They'll pop the Supernova. They will try and make it go, but King RD, very nice Burrow Strike, holds back the Spirit Breaker. They'll just walk away from the ultimate there. The Phoenix isn't going to catch any of them in that stun. The Courier only just actually getting back there. Nearly actually dies as it flies across some of SG. Will deliver the Lincoln Sphere. But, I mean, great for Mu. Now he won't die to Reaper's Scythe, but he's not going to be killing anyone anytime soon.
They don't have Egg now. Like, that's one of their big team fight abilities.
Yeah,
like, he just went in and Egg. The way you want to use Egg is like as a counter-initiation kind of tool. You can't just jump in and use it like that. Epicenter coming out.
Ready to jump forward with the Epicenter. They'll start to steal up the int. Sanity's is dropped. Moves down for 50 seconds. Freak pops the Shrine, but all this is going to hurt. Those right clicks from the OD flying through, forcing them back. The ults there drop down onto the Ember Spirit. A 4-man vacuum wall combo will do absolutely nothing at this stage of the game with the lead that SG have. And I'm pretty sure we can expect to see the double Gs come out on the screen as SG have just dominated this game. 23 minutes in, cleaning up the second set of racks. And it's going to be feeling pretty good for them. They had a tough day yesterday, SG, but already on the verge of bagging themselves $1,000 with this win. There's another game to play after this one, but as of the time being, Complexity will hold on. Not looking to tap out as of yet. But this game, if Complexity could bring it around with this lineup, I am going to be absolutely gobsmacked. That will be quite something to witness. Because this poor old Mu on that Void, it's such a hard hero to bring a game back that you're losing this much at this stage of the game. I mean, what do? You Chronosphere, you stop time, but you're not going to be able to turn time.
Yeah, it's extremely difficult for them to come back. Like, there's just too much sustain coming out from the outside of SG. The way Complexity takes a fight, it needs to be perfect. It needs to be absolutely perfect, and then even if it's perfect, it's just there's so much different ways for the SG to kind of like turn it around. Omnet even picking up now an Aether lane, so he's going to be sitting even further back. Like I don't know, it's super hard for them to really catch the proper fight here.
There we go. This could be the last-ditch smoke attempt from Complexity to try and make something big happen. They smoked to Roche and backed out, maybe checking if SG were doing it. They're not going to find it. SG are playing safe and sensible as well.
Yeah.
Aware that that sort of movement likely to be coming out from Complexity at this stage of the game, and doing their best to make sure that they're not caught out by it. And they really need to be massively caught out for it to work out for Complexity. But Complexity, again, next smoke, they are going to try and make the movement again. They need the perfect chrono. They need something incredible from Mu. He's got a good vision, and he's got the good position on the high ground, drops it, gets the chrono out onto 2. The CM falling low. They'll get themselves 1. OD walks into the chrono. They've got the control on King RD, but he still gets the burst strike out. GA comes through. The Necros there, though, straight down onto the Ember Spirit. He's out of the fight. And Mu, it's just not the dream chrono. They needed something insane. They didn't get it. Mu gets closed in upon again. The Epicenter bringing him down low. Will get the chance to time walk out, but the force was there from Adriano. They'll bring him down. Melon's lucky enough to TP away just in time. But again, an attempt, sort of a last chance attempt from Complexity, and they end up losing both of their cores. Mu and Fira to hit the sidelines. And it's another successful fight for SG. They keep strong control of the lead that they have. And yeah, Complexity, it's getting to the point where it's almost impossible for them to be able to do anything. There's an Aghanims complete now on HFN, who's been having a fantastic game, 14k net worth. The applause comes out from King RD. No sad trombones today, as we were hearing yesterday. Spirits are high for SG.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, they're quite overfarmed. Of course, 20,000 gold lead at the 20-minute mark is very hard to kind of come back from. But they also, the amount of damage from collecting the Chronosphere is just so minimal.
He just jumps forward. Sanity's just dropped. Adriano burst them down. Beyond godlike on the OD. 11-2-6 this game.
Very nice game. Like, game plan coming out from SG overall.
The head shake from King. Can't believe it. And the boys have played beautifully here in this game 1. And there's going to be another game between these two teams. We'll see if they can do a bit of a repeat. But as we're seeing, definitely still feeling like Complexity trying out a lot of different things. This game, they tried out the Void, and it just didn't work. We saw them try out the Zeus earlier today. But definitely testing the waters here, using these games to try as much as they can. Pyro may even just die in the fountain. It's going to be close. Will survive.
20 more int though. Full Hex now finished up onto Adriano as well.
The final wombo combo. They're going to try for it. Complexity. Johnny just jumps in and forces back out. Oh no, the Hex is instantly there onto the Phoenix. Jimmy's out and down. Jump forward there with the Burrow Strike. They will get the 4-man vacuum into the charge. Triple remnant forward. But the Chronos, well, do they have the damage to get these kills? They brought down the SK, but the heals in return, allowing Adriano to get a triple, get Ultra, give that man the rampage. They won't let him. They'll GG out before he gets the chance to. Z-Freak TP's back to base. Rampage denied, but the win certainly will not, as SG pretty much walking away from this one from the laning stage. The game being a pretty straightforward walk in the park with them. They had the draft, and they just played really well today, SG. None of the mistakes that we kind of saw them make yesterday. As a team, there were some times where we were seeing King RD having a great laning stage, but then slipping up in the mid game.